California just sued a landlord for turning away a veteran's housing voucher. And if no Section 8 is in your screening, you're the lawsuit just waiting to happen. Filed May 26 by the Civil Rights Department. It's the first one. Here's what lands on your property: uncapped damages, full attorney fees, emotional distress. That's 6 figures from one screening reflex. I'm Roger with Landlords, and I'm a veteran myself. So let me walk you through the process to stop it. Source of income is protected class in California. That means you literally can't base screening decisions off of on the rent source. It's in the Fair Employment and Housing Act. And here's why the state is moving on this now. A VASH voucher tenant has been through Veterans Affairs underwriting, income verification, and a housing authority interview before they ever knock on your door. They're pre-screened, pretty much. The Civil Rights Department filed the suit because someone ran a blanket, no voucher policy. That's what triggered enforcement. Okay, here are the 3 moves to fix this. First one is to kill the no voucher policy from your listings and your head. The mistake that landlords make is thinking no Section 8 is a screening criteria. It's not. It's a blanket exclusion, and the moment you do that, you've crossed the screening into discrimination. One of those voucher tenants has been through VA underwriting. Again, the pre-screen before you even see them. You're not evaluating them fairly if you reject them before you even run the numbers. So stop doing that. That's where the lawsuit starts. Second one is score the income multiple on the tenant's proportion of rent, not the full rent amount. So let's say the voucher covers $800 and the tenant pays for $400 a month. You run an income multiple, right? Most landlords multiply 400 by 30 or 40 and expect to see the number on a pay stub. But income multiple means gross income divided by the rent they're actually paying, which is 400. Not the 1,200 total. Let's get that right. If the tenant makes $2,000 a month gross, they're at 2,000 divided by 400, which is a 5 times multiple. That's solid. Here's where most landlords get this wrong. They do the math against the full rent and reject a perfectly good voucher tenant because they're looking at a 2.4 times multiple, when in actual the multiple is 5 times. So you're disqualifying tenants who actually pass. Third one is write your screening criteria down. And I mean on a document, something that you can actually pull out and show somebody. Not, we just feel like this is the right tenant. Because if the land's in front of a judge, or if this lands in front of a judge rather, you need to say, here are the criteria. Here is the criteria. We apply them to everybody the same exact way, including this tenant. That's credible. Here's where most landlords get this wrong. They keep everything in their heads. We just know what we're looking for. But you can't walk into a courtroom and say, yeah, it just felt right. You need to pull something out, like some criteria, and show that they were applied consistently. The difference between we have a legitimate screening process and we made this up as we went. And I need to slow it down here for a second, because this is where the DIY hits different. The state filed the first ever VASH denial lawsuit in May, like we said. Not their first investigation, their first court case. Source of income is protected in AB 1482. That's not flexible. Your screening either complies or it doesn't. If you're running no vouchers anywhere in your process, this is not a tweak. This is a rebuild on how you operate. Talk to your attorney before you take another application. The way I run this in Concord is I don't check the rent source first. I check the income multiple first. Because then I'm not making a decision based on a voucher. I'm making a decision based on whether the tenant can actually afford the rent they're paying. It decouples the bias, and honestly, the buildings that switched to that process landed better tenants and fewer screening issues. But talk to your attorney on how that fits with your specific portfolio. So here's the question. Is the part of your landlord operation you want to learn by trial and error on your own building, or do you want the steps to protect it now? Because you could always comment VET, V-E-T, below, and I'll send you the voucher safe screening checklist. And if you want to walk through on how this plays out in your specific portfolio, calendar links in the description. In the comments, tell me what's the biggest gap between your current screening and what you just heard.